Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy PADDA. Today we're gonna be making my very early 2025 NHL season predictions. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I haven't uploaded a video in a while. It's just, boys, I don't know what to upload. Y'all not helping me out. I think honestly it's my fault. I gotta get creative here. I can't stop uploading videos. I need to get on my grind. If you guys don't know, I do have a main channel, PADDA Kills. I upload gaming videos there. I think if you guys want to go subscribe to that channel, I'm gonna start live streaming, just playing some Chell. I think franchise mode on Chell would be fire. If you guys want to see that, let me know. If you guys just want to see me react to IRL videos, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna just react to like IRL video compilations and stuff like that for hockey because the season is over. But I was like, you know what? Why won't I just do a very early 2025 NHL season standings prediction? So I went on tier list. I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna get rid of this tier right here. How do I get rid of a tier? Delete row. A is for Atlantic. How do I spell Atlantic? I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna get roasted in the comment section, bro. Every time I make a video, I just get roasted every single time. For some reason, I just get, I don't know how to spell it. Nah, yo, but every time I make a video, I just get roasted. A is for Atlantic. I just don't know how to spell it. I do know how to spell it, but I just can't spell it. It's Atlanta. I know how to spell Atlanta. Atlantic. It's A-L-T-A-N-T. Atlant, and then I-C. Obviously, I don't know who. I think we should start off with the Central Division. I'm not gonna lie, I think the Nashville Predators are gonna be the best team in the Central next season. And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh Pat, man, you're overrating the Nashville Predators, man. They're just an old team, old heads. They signed Steven Stamkos, they signed Jonathan Marchessault, they brought in, I think, who's the defenseman they brought in? Yeah, they got Brady Skye. That's what I meant, Brady Skye. I mean, bro, they were pretty good this season too. 2024, they made it to the wild card. I think it was wild card 1, or was it wild card 2? Nonetheless, they made it into the playoffs as a wild card team. They got upgrades this season. I think, they got a really good goalie in Soros. Their decor is really good. They brought in some depth. I think my only problem with Nashville, I don't think they're a cup contender. And the reason is I think they'll win the Central, but I just don't think, like, their depth, they don't have depth is what I'm trying to say. They don't have a good bottom six. I just personally think their bottom six is just very, very weak in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. Next up, who do I think is going to be second in the Central? I honestly think, where are they at? Where is Colorado at? The Avalanche. I don't know how. I think Colorado's going to be second in the Central Division. I just think they're a good team. They know what they're doing. They're a tough team. I think they're just a really, really good team. So I'm going to have them be second. Third, I'm not going to lie, Dallas, I think Dallas, they'll make the playoffs again. I do think they're definitely not going to have a dominant regular season as they did. I just don't think that's going to be possible. I think they'll probably be like third, near wild card position for Dallas. I'm not even trying to hate. That's just my opinion for them. Next up, man, I'm pretty sure Utah Hockey Club is in the Central Division as well. I think Utah is going to be fourth. I mean, they made some decent moves. I think they're going to try to win. I don't think Utah is going to be that bad. I really don't, bro. I genuinely think Utah is going to be a good team next season. So those are my 4 teams that I think will make the playoffs in the Central. We'll come back to the rest of the... You know what? Let me just make a tier. I think I should probably just make a tier for, like, wild card and then lottery. So this is kind of what I think is going to happen. So I'll put Utah in wild card. I think Utah is going to be a wild card team. I'll also throw in... Oh, who else should I throw in here? Minnesota as a wild card team. I think they're going to be a wild card team. And, yeah, that's my... We'll come back to the Central Pacific Division. I honestly think the Edmonton Oilers are going to win the Pacific. They brought in Jeff Skinner. They got a good team there. They just made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think, honestly, like, they had a really shitty regular season, and they literally almost won the Pacific this year. Think about it. They were, like, literally, like, 31st in the league at one point, and then they became, like, second in the Pacific. They made it to the finals. They're one game away from winning the Cup. I think Edmonton's going to be very, very good next year. I have them first in the Pacific Division. Second, I got Vancouver. I think the Canucks are still pretty good. I don't know. I think the Canucks are definitely going to have a back seat compared to other teams in the Pacific Division. I just think the I can't speak. I just think the Pacific Division is pretty weak. Like, you compare the Pacific Division to the Central Division, it's just weak. I think Vancouver will probably get second. Third, I'm gonna have Los Angeles, but I don't know. This is where kind of I get a little bit like, I don't know, man, because it's like, yeah, you got Vegas, but it's like, I just think Vegas is weak. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Vegas is that good anymore. I think the Kings. I mean, maybe this again. Like, I'll probably throw Los Angeles in a wild card spot as well. I think the Kings. I'll probably do it like that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make some bold predictions here. And then we'll kind of go rest. Again, I think Anaheim is going to be a lottery team again. San Jose will be a lottery team again. This is where things kind of start getting tough. Seattle, I could see Seattle making the playoffs next year. I see them as a wild card team as well, but I don't know, man. I see them. You know what? I'm going to put them over Minnesota. St. Louis, I think they're going to be a lottery team. Just don't think St. Louis is really that good. Chicago, I'm a Hawks fan. I'm trying to get my buy. You know what? We'll come back to Chicago. Let's just finish up like the top teams. So from the Metro Division, I got the Rangers, New Jersey. I think New Jersey is going to be very good next year. So I got Rangers, Devils in the Metro, and then this is where it kind of starts to get tough. Like Carolina, I don't like. I think Carolina is going to be worse next year for sure. They lost a lot of key pieces, but how bad do I think are they going to be? That's kind of the question, right? Like how bad, like. Are they going to be bad, or are they going to, like, still make the playoffs? I don't know. I think they'll probably be third. In the Atlantic Division, I'm going to throw in – who do I throw? I'm going to throw Florida because they obviously won the Stanley Cup. You know, enough said. They won the Atlantic this year. I'm going to go Boston again. The Bruins, I like Boston. They got Zadorov. They got Elias Lindholm. They'll definitely be better than next year. I think they'll probably be, like, second or third in the Atlantic. And then who else do I want to put on here? This Toronto, I'll put Toronto as third, and then wild card, I'll put Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't know, Tampa Bay. I mean, see, this is what I mean. Tampa Bay, they did sign Jake Gensel. You know what? I think this is what I'm gonna end up doing. I don't know, man. The Atlantic is a really tough division to do. So, you know, I took a little bit of a break. You know, with the Atlantic Division, I just think I like Tampa Bay a lot. I know a lot of people think they're old. I think Tampa Bay is going to be good next year. They brought in Jake Gensel. I can see Tampa Bay winning the Atlantic. I think Florida, what's it called? They got the honeymoon. What's it? The hangover season. So what that is, basically, once a team wins the Stanley Cup, if you're not Chicago, LA, or Pittsburgh, you're going to have a hangover season, or Tampa Bay. Basically, Chicago, we won 3 cups in 6 years. You know, I'm not trying to brag. LA won cups in 2012 and 2014. But even Los Angeles, they had hangover seasons. What I'm trying to say here is I think Florida, I can see them getting third in the Atlantic Division. I can even see them getting fourth. I'm not going to lie. I want to make the standings something like this. I think this makes sense. I know a lot of people are like, yo, PADDA, you're tripping. You're tripping right now. You're tripping hard. I don't know. Am I really tripping, though? Like, am I really tripping? Just because I like Jake Gensel a lot. I think Tampa Bay, they'll probably have a good regular season. Boston, they brought in some pieces. Usually Toronto and Boston are, like, even, right? This is kind of how I think it might be. And I think Florida takes a back seat. I still think Florida's going to be good. I just think they're just going to take a back seat. It's going to be like that hangover season. So I think I'm going to put them fourth. All right, guys, this is where it gets really, really tough. Washington, I don't know, man. The Capitals, they added some pieces. I think the Capitals will probably be a wild card playoff team. They probably won't make it, though. I think Montreal, I'm going to have them at... I think Montreal is going to have a better season. So I'm going to put them in, like... All right, guys, this is my bottom tier. I'm going to put... These are all the teams that I think are going to be bad next season. So this is kind of like my bottom tiers. All right, so this is the newly updated tier list. I know you guys are probably like, yo, you're tripping out. I'm going to fix it. I'm just put the teams on the board. I'm going to fix this. Okay, now let's go to Chicago. I think the Hawks are going to have a wild card playoff push. I'm not saying that we're going to make the playoffs. I think with Chicago, what's going to end up happening is I can see us being in the playoff position in January and then falling down the list. So I think we'll be like, honestly, we'll probably be like, I'm not trying to be biased here. I think, because when I mean wild card playoff, I don't mean like they're for sure going to be in the playoffs. I just mean they have a chance, but I just see them as a wild card team at best. So I see Chicago potentially, like, I don't know. I think we might be a wild card team. Buffalo. Dude, the Atlantic is so tough. We already have 4 teams. To me, these are the 4 best teams in the Atlantic Division, right? So it's kind of like everyone else is just in wild card territory. Detroit, wild card territory. Buffalo, wild card territory. Ottawa, wild card territory. It's just so tough because it's like the Atlantic is so good. Like this is what I think is what's gonna look like in the Atlantic next year. Maybe one of these 4 teams misses the playoffs. It's very possible that one of these 4 teams could fall out the playoff position, and then one of these wild card teams could make it in. But these to me are the 3 best wild card teams. Buffalo, I think Buffalo. I don't know. I'm gonna just have it like this. This is what I'm gonna have it as. Ottawa, they brought in Yarmark. You know what? I put Ottawa ahead of Detroit. I think Ottawa has a really good offseason so far. There's some weird car noise that's not me. New York, I think New York's gonna be a lottery team next year. I don't think the Islanders are gonna make the playoffs. They might just squeak in though. I don't think the Jets are so tough. I think Jets, I'll put them at a wild card spot. I'll put them like right over here. Winnipeg, to me, Winnipeg just always finds a way to make the playoffs. Calgary, lottery team. Pittsburgh, this is tough, man. The Pens, they lost Genzo. I just don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, the Metro is kind of weak, but I just see like the other teams finding a playoff position rather than them. So I'm going to put them in lottery, but they'll probably be like right here. St. Louis, so this is kind of what I have so far, and I think we might wrap up this video. So I got Nashville first in the Central Division, Colorado second, Dallas third. I got Edmonton first in the Pacific, Vancouver second, Vegas third. High key, I think Vegas is going to be a wild card team. Something in my gut. You know what? Do I go Seattle? Do I go Seattle over Vegas? I think we'll do something like this. You know what? We'll do something like that. I think Seattle's better than Vegas. I don't know. You know what? I think Seattle makes the playoffs. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. This is kind of like the safe option. Like right here, like this to me is the safe option. Like this right here. You know what? I think this is what I'm going to end up doing. So we're going to have Central, 3, 4 Pacific teams. Then I think a wild card who will make it. I think Utah's going to make the playoffs. I don't know why. I just see Utah making the playoffs next season. And Metro, New York Rangers, and Devils. I think those are the 2 best teams in the Metro. Carolina, I think the Hurricanes took a back step. They're not as good as they used to be. They lost a couple pieces. I think they're going to be third in the Metro. I could even see them being in the wild card position. But, I mean, who else takes their spot? Maybe Pittsburgh, maybe New York. I don't know. That's why I have them third still. Atlantic, toughest division in the league, in my opinion, because there's so much talent and competition here. I'm going to have Tampa Bay, Boston, Toronto, Florida, and then Ottawa, Detroit, Buffalo, in that Pacific order, potentially being a wild card team. I think maybe the last spot might go to Ottawa. We'll see, though. We'll see. But one of these 3 teams won't make the playoffs, which sucks, because that's how good the division is. These are the lottery teams. These are like the bottom teams. I would have like Columbus down here, but I think Columbus will be a little bit better. I think Montreal is going to be a little bit better next season. But anyways, guys, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know if you guys mess with this list, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.